Well, we at it again. Thank you for joining me. I'm looking at this news coverage of how they are treating our former president and current Republican presidential nominee, Donald J. Trump. And it's appalling. Now, before you go jumping down my throat, saying, oh, you listen to Fox News, and oh, you watch too much Hannity, and oh, he's a Republican, he's bad, he's racist. Meh. Before you get into all that, let's look at the facts. The city of New York and their Attorney General, Leticia James, looking like a black Winnie the Pooh with KRS-One's face. She's out there, when she campaigned for that job, talking about how she was going to get Trump, that she was going to keep him in and out of court, that she was going to prosecute him and go home, sue him and go home, and how she's looking at 40 Wall Street every day. When has it been the aim of anyone in a prosecutorial function to get a specific person, company, organization, entity? It sounds like someone who is abusing their power. Official oppression, maybe? Yeah, that's what we'd call it here in Texas. Because now the court has put down this ridiculous near $500 million judgment against Trump, and saying that he can't do business in New York for a set period of time. They're getting in the way of his livelihood. They say that he was fraudulent in some documents he filed to get financing some years ago. But I don't see how that's an issue if he has already paid back the loans with interest and nobody was harmed. I thought it was only a crime when there were victims. But there were no victims here. There was no money stolen, and the money was all repaid. None of the lenders brought complaints against him. So it just seems like they're nickel and diming in an effort to keep him off the ballot or to thwart his being reelected president again, a la Grover Cleveland. And people like Leticia James and Fani Willis are being used as tools of the left in order to do these things. It's unreasonable. And the size of the judgment is unprecedented. And what's even worse is because of the size of the bond needed. Because in a judgment like that, if you're going to post it as a bond, that bond must be worth 110% of the judgment. So that's going to be over $500 million. No bonding agency is going to post a bond that large, no matter who it is, no matter how good their credit is, because the risk is too large. And the court knows this. Why would the court, other than for political motives, impose a condition that they know can't be met? And now he's got till Monday in order to pay this money, or they could start seizing his assets. Folks, this is not funny. Because if they're doing it to him, just because his politics don't match up with the left, could the left do it to you or me? Could the left come after my business? They probably could, and for less. It's happening to him. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. You know, I do own a small business. For purposes of this conversation, I will not go into that. This gives me concern. Folks, why do we keep electing people who abuse their power as a means of executing vengeance against their political enemies? That doesn't sound like the United States to me. That sounds like a hostile regime in some third world country. That sounds almost like what Saddam Hussein did in Iraq. When Saddam Hussein came to power in Iraq, he convened a meeting of all the nation's top officials. They called off names of people who opposed him. Men came from the back of the room, grabbed these people, took them out of the room. They were never seen again. Granted, that was in Iraq in the early 1980s. But with the latest things going on politically here, it doesn't seem like we're far off from it. Could this be the end of the United States? I hope not. But we have to remember from history class, every great empire falls. Tell me what you think. Give me some comments. Send me some likes. And for those of you watching on Facebook, lay some stars on me. I appreciate everything. Thank you, folks. It's been great.